back to our Ask the Agronomist video series. I am Phil Long, Precision Agronomy Advisor with Latham High-Tech Seeds. And this week we're going to talk about chelated fertilizers and why they're important to your operation. So why would you need to use a chelated fertilizer? Well, typically, especially in Latham Country, we have higher pHs, and that makes it a challenge for a lot of our metals, our micronutrients, things like zinc and iron, to stay in an available form until they get to the plant. So that's where the chelation comes in. That's where the chelated fertilizer comes. A chelator essentially is an organic molecule that surrounds, let's say that zinc molecule, surrounds that zinc molecule so that when it gets into the soil and mixed up a little bit, it's trying to get to the root hair surface or the surface of the root of that plant. But it has to go through the soil. So while it's in soil solution, it can react with things like oxygen, which should be in your soil, or hydroxyl ions, which would be there if you have higher pH. So those things will react with those metals, make them unavailable, so the plant can't take it up. So you put all that fertilizer out there, and essentially the soil just absorbed it, put it in an unavailable form, and you can't use it. So the chelator protects that, gets it to the root hair surface, releases it, plant takes it up. It's a much more efficient way of fertilizing and saves you a lot of money in the long run. So typically lower application rates when it comes to the chelated fertilizers and just more efficiency of getting that fertilizer to the plant. So good things all around. So what are the chelated types of fertilizers? Well, pay attention to on the label, you'll see things like a DTPA is one, and that's typically more productive, or it keeps that fertilizer in an available form up to about a 7 pH or a little over a 7 pH. So if you have really high pHs and you're heading toward the 8 pH range, you need to look for the chelator that'll be an acronym on the label is EDDHA. That one actually can work anywhere from a 7 to a 9 pH. It's most productive. Keeps it in a bioavailable form up to a 9 pH. So very effective at high pH soils. So using these, what's the most important things to remember? Well, first of all, the closer you can get it to the root, the better. So in my opinion, I would make sure that you can either put it down in furrow, beside the furrow, in a 2x2 or 2x2x2 or whatever you have available. Maybe you're dribbling it on each side of the row. Things like that work well too if you can move it down with some rain. But just remember, the closer to the root hair, the better. That chelate will still help get it to the root hair surface and make it more efficient. If you have pHs over 6.5, a lot of times, especially once you get over 7, chelator can be very helpful to increase your fertilizer efficiency on your farm. So just remember, using a chelated fertilizer on your operation, if you have higher pHs, it may be something you want to consider, and understand how those different chelates work and the different chelators that are on the label. So pay attention to that next time you look at your fertilizer. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Visit us on our website at lathamseeds.com or give us a call at 1-800-GO-LATHAM. Thanks for watching this week's Ask the Agronomist.